letting us know about that. But hey, welcome to the game.
Welcome to the game, indeed. I am red with embarrassment right now.
But oh, looks like the Ottoman player is going to get that 90 wood. So good for him.
Yeah. Both players have clicked up. Ottoman player, QueenOfdestiny, going for that Rax right off the bat. EAGLEMUT.
Yep.
And she has also picked up 90 wood, which is a
interesting.
Really
it's a pretty defensive Rax, so I wonder if he's expecting some kind of aggression out of India.
Yeah.
Here come the two Sepoy from the town center. But who do you think is in a better position here at the start of the Second Age?
It's I think it's pretty close as of right now. The Agra is in a really good spot because it is covering that trade post, that choking those resources. And India is also in a position to deny this third TP, which is really good.
Yep. And out come the 5 Sepoy.
Oh yeah. And 3. Oh,
it looks like it's going to be a pretty aggressive build here from India.
Oh yeah.
But 5 Jans coming out from the Ottoman player as well. Going to lose this Explorer.
Yeah, so that TP is denied, and it looks like EAGLEMUT is also going to head north and take out
look at in the base of the Ottoman player. It looks like he's going for an artillery foundry. So it looks like we're gonna, and the 700 coin. So definitely going to see some Abus guns coming out. What do you think of that? I mean, it's definitely going to be effective against these Sepoy.
I totally agree with you. This Abus Janissary is just a really strong H2 combo. Ottoman, it's what they're known for. It's kind of their bread and butter. And we'll have to see how India is going to deal with that. Putting out down some Gurkha on the field. It's,
but
this is going to be a tough match.
You know, Gurkha, not the best versus Abus. What he really needs is he needs some SOARs. But, I mean, I wonder... Let me check. I mean, he does have 4 SOAR in his deck, so if it does come to that, he can ship those. But getting some good damage here, taking out the Ottoman trading post.
Yeah, denying that trade post is actually really, really strong, I think, for the Indian player. QueenOfdestiny
5 Abus coming.
Only 1 trade post. So those shipments aren't really going to be trickling in. Still, 1 trade post is pretty good. It's better than nothing.
Yep. But I'm looking forward to the conflict that's going to happen here. We have 10 Jans and 5 Abus versus about 10 Sepoy and about 5 or 6 Gurkha. So I definitely think if the Ottoman player starts something, he would definitely have the advantage with those extra Abus guns and 5 more Jans coming out.
I agree. These Abus guns, they're so strong in the poke war. They do 40 damage, and that damage is actually siege. So the Gurkha's
and 5 more coming out. So Ottoman really going into this Jan Abus play. He sees that his trading post is going to be attacked, and he could get some good damage off here. The question is he gonna be able to save his trading post? And I don't think he will. I think it might go down.
Yeah, looks like this fight is gonna come up.
A lot of siege damage on those Sepoys. Holy cow!
Trade post does goes down, but this Indian army is caught in a pretty awkward spot. Yeah, look at that.
He's done a decent job here surrounding the Indian army.
Yeah, just look at those infantry units melt to the Abus guns. That is very, very strong.
Yeah, that is a lot of economic potential just lost.
I would say
throwing down a consulate and a training post here in the middle though for India.
Yeah, India going with the 600 wood.
Oh, I don't know if he's going to get either of them up though. This Ottoman army barreling towards this forward position, gonna lose a Vil, I think here.
Maybe even 3 actually.
Yep, losing a Vil there.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
Oh,
and India just doesn't have an answer to this amount of units. Little lag spike right there. Uh-oh. Are you with me, Dror?
Yep.
Hmm.
My internet's just being a little weird, but I'll be back in a little bit.
We'll wait for you.
But yeah, it's interesting. What do you think? Do you think the Ottoman player should keep pushing on that forward position. I mean, he did get a couple of
Oh, yeah.
villas.
I totally agree with this push out from Queen of Destiny. Because
Hmm.
she has a huge military advantage at this point, just because of that fight, how well it went for her.
Yep.
She just picked off 3 villagers, and India just shipped 600 wood, which is a good shipment, but it's also pretty slow. So this is like the perfect time for Queen of Destiny
Definitely.
to push out here.
I don't know. Does it say I'm just out, or
Yeah,
what does it
we're
say?
waiting for you. You have 15, 14 seconds left. It looks like maybe...
It's not letting me. It's not letting me rejoin. Maybe I can still get in there. I don't know.
Timers run out.
Yep. All right. That's fine. Well, I'll be able to watch from the stream, and even with a little bit of delay, I'll still be able to help you out here.
Sure. I will do the live action, but oh yeah, this Indian army, that consulate actually just got destroyed, and these Aegis guns are just doing a huge number on those infantry units from India.
Oh goodness. And that's a huge investment for India, slamming down a trading post as well as a consulate, all in that forward position.
Yeah,
that could be a big loss.
That is a pretty big loss. Consulates, not only do they cost a lot of wood, but they also build quite slowly. So that consulate isn't going to really help EAGLEMUT in the near future. And this aggro is actually halfway sieged. Just Queen of Destiny in an awesome position right here. I would absolutely not be surprised to see her take this game.
Yeah, I look back at the fight, and I think it was a brilliant move by Queen. We saw how, as she went to the trading post to corner the Indian army, she actually sent her Janissaries around to the side, and then she sent her Abyss guns behind, and she did a great job of actually, squeezing that Indian army and getting so much more additional damage than if she had just came on and barreled in straight forward.
I totally agree. That was very, very well played from Queen. Just getting that flank up in a way that the Indian army has to retreat and will just take so many casualties doing so. Queen of Destiny is now pushing into that town center of EAGLEMUT.
Really?
And oh my god.
Well, she does have a lot of siege potential. I mean, she has the Abyss guns, she has the Janissaries.
And these Gurkha are just getting picked off by the Abyss guns. It's not even funny.
Yeah, I mean, the Abyss guns, a lot of people, just the rating potential of Abyss, just with their range, and if you can have some Janissaries there to protect them from cavalry, it is so frustrating to deal with.
Tiger Claw is popping out as the Ottoman army is right in the town center. Oh, the Ottoman Minutemen.
Oh my goodness.
This is
oh my gosh.
Was this an overextension from Queen of Destiny?
Yep. Perhaps a little bit too greedy there with the town center. Do you think she should have done something else instead of attacking the town center?
It's hard to say, because to be completely fair, she has managed to deal with the Tiger Claws and the Minutemen. But that was a very good pop from EAGLEMUT, but it was just not enough. And that was due in part to Queen of Destiny being able to pick off Indian units as they came out of the racks. Some Hussar coming in from the Ottoman consulate, but it's just not enough.
Yeah, I don't think the Hussar are going to be enough. I mean, already so much damage done by Queen with the Abyss guns and the villager raids.
Yeah, the villagers completely.
Just a solid build order from Queen.
Yeah, and something else worth mentioning is that those trade posts she got early, even though EAGLEMUT managed to take them down, at one point in the game, Queen of Destiny was up 2 shipments on EAGLEMUT, and she was just able to, which were crate shipments actually. She was able to throw those resources into units and then just use them perfectly. And that town center is on its last legs, 150, 100 HP.
Yep, you're exactly right.
And it goes down.
Oh goodness. Yeah, I think this might be GG here. I don't know where the Indian player. I mean, he can run to his aggro fort, but he's not going to be producing villagers. He's not going to be aging.
It is GG.
Definitely in favor of Queen here.
we can assume that Future Klein took some time with Queen of Destiny to coach her and help prepare this match, and we can see that shining really well here. Just a very solid build order.
And it's so impressive. You know, this is just the composition by Queen was just it was fabulous. And I know that some people think that a Jan Avis is, especially, you know, in vanilla, that it was a very overpowered strategy, but you know, it takes a lot of work. It takes managing your resources. It takes a lot of micro to protect your Avis from cavalry. So, you know, I still think it was very impressive by Queen pulling this off.
It was yep, it was just very well executed.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, and I think
yeah.
I think it just came down to that first fight. I mean, India, yeah, he got the trading post, but he lost so many units retreating from those Avis guns, and those Janissaries just had him corralled in so that they weren't able to effectively retreat.
Yes, that's the name of the game right there. I do believe that was the tipping point of the game. Queen managed to get an edge in that engagement, and then just never let go of that advantage.
Yep, yep. But you know, I think it all comes down to you know, when you're making units and you're deciding a build order. It's not necessarily the build order; it's how you execute it. And I just think Queen did just an excellent job here. I mean, defending herself against the Tiger Claws and the Minutemen, and then of course all the other earlier stuff we talked about.
Yep. Yeah, just good execution.
And it's certainly not a bad execution by EAGLEMUT, you know, to any stretch. I mean, he had a good build order. He took good map control you know, with the Agrifort. He pressured the Ottomans trading posts. I think it just came down to that one fight where he lost so many sepoy. And then, you know, when he popped those Hussar, he kind of threw them into the Janissaries. But other than that, it was very good.
Totally agreed. Why don't you head back to the
Yes.
lobby? We're waiting for you.
Sure. I will be making my way back. Yeah, I don't know what's up. If that does happen again, just don't worry about it too much.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you're at university, you know, your internet isn't always the best, but we will hope that it will stay good, at least for this series and the one to follow.
Yep. Well, that should work out. Looks like Queen of Destiny picked French and locked that in.
What do you think of? I think personally, I think French is a very good pick, just because when you have to make that first pick, you want to go for something very neutral. You don't want to have you don't want to pick a civ that can be hard countered like Japan. So going with a very with a civ like France, I think is a good idea.
I think you hit the nail on the head right there. France has no clear counter picks, in my opinion. So picking that when you have the first pick is just a really solid choice, as opposed to say Ottoman, who might have had a counter pick. So we'll have to see what EAGLEMUT enters with. The map is Herald Island, a nice winter map.
Yeah, that will be interesting. But it's pretty good game one, and of course, I do really enjoy Herald Island. I think I've casted on it a couple of times, and it's always a fun map to play on.
Yeah. It's a nice map. It has that that trade route. It has those hunts. It has that little kind of passage to the northwest of the map where hunts are known to kind of do their thing. Looks like
EAGLEMUT's saying he's going to pull out the Aztec, and so he does.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Oh,
Yeah.
ditto.
Aztec versus French.
Yeah. That's a pretty interesting pick right there. You know, I've actually talked to Tomato before about this, and he believes that Aztec aren't that great anymore. Certainly not bad, but they don't have that edge that they have on the RE patch. But disregard all that. Looks like we're gonna go into this game.
Yeah, it's, you know, Aztec versus French is. I don't know about that one. Mainly because one of the big Aztec strategies is, you know, you lay down your forward war hut, you get your 5 coyotes out, and you do a lot of raiding.
Oh shit. Oh guys, I accidentally closed Discord.
Alright.
Sorry about that, buddy. You were saying something about those raids.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just gonna come to I think it's gonna come down to what the French player decides to do, whether he decides to semi-FF or play colonial, and it's gonna be up to the Aztec player to respond to that. Whether that decides he plays aggressive, which I think is what he's gonna do, because Aztec is known for, you know, being a fairly aggressive civ, although they can play in economic style as well.
Yeah, they have a pretty good warrior priest boom, I should say. Lots of options to this civilization. We'll have to see what EAGLEMUT pulls out of his hat here. But the game is loaded, and I shall introduce the player to the northwest east of the map. Queen of Destiny in the pink, playing French. And her opponent?
Yep, and in the south of the map, is yours in green?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so the green player, playing in the south of the map, we do have EAGLEMUT playing as the Aztecs. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting game.
Yeah.
200 wood start, it looks like.
Yeah, 200 would start. You caught that really well. And I think a TP start from the French player, perhaps the Aztec player as well.
Yep, TP start coming out from the French player. Probably going to be chopping wood next for his house. Aztec player going around the map. Now, this is going to be interesting for Aztec because just as it was on Yukon, on this map we have some really good treasures guarded by some really dangerous guardians. And if the Aztec player decides to convert one of these polar bears, or perhaps an outlaw rifleman, he's going to be in a great position, not only for scouting, but for possible fights in Age 1.
Yeah, that's true. We have some pretty good treasures out on the map. We have a little lag coming out for the players. Let's check with them.
Yep.
By the way,
apparently
resources.
A little lag coming out from. I'm not experiencing too much lag, but yeah, it does look like the French player did decide to go down with his trading post, a war hut, or no, a fire pit, and a house coming out from the Aztec player.
To be fair, Queen of Destiny has 4 hunts, whereas EAGLEMUT has 3. I'm trying to think of whether a restart is in order.
Yeah, I only see. I see one eagle. He has one in his base, one here. He does have one out here. If he herds that one a little bit, he can easily bring that one in, as well as this one here.
Yeah, mine's are pretty okay. Yeah, resources are okay, but certainly in favor of Queen of Destiny a bit. They have started the game.
EAGLEMUT
would start.
Yeah, EAGLEMUT did get 90 food, but now he is being snared by the native scout and the French explorer.
Oh yeah, this is a pretty good fight right here.
Yeah, right up here.
Did the EAGLEMUT get any guardians? It doesn't look like that's the case, or maybe
no,
it got sniped.
Yeah, it's, you know, I wonder if he might just convert one of these polar bears to help him out.
Yeah, but The EAGLEMUT managed to break that snare, and of course the French scout does not actually snare anymore. So EAGLEMUT managed to slip away from that fight. Good on him.
Yep. Yeah, it looks like he's going to get out. Did lose a little bit of health, but still on 343 HP. So hopefully he'll start converting some of those bigger guardians and maybe go for this 160 XP treasure. Oh, we have a pause by
Yep,
Queen.
we do have a pause.
But okay. She says she has a lot of lag going on.
Perhaps I should also take my mobile devices off the Wi-Fi.
Let's see.
Are you
Oh,
ready?
of course you're fine.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
All right.
All right, we are back into this game.
Yep.
Looks like they're kind of scouting this 160 XP treasure, which is very good. It's pretty much a shipment, which you get, especially if you get it early.
French explorer looks like he's going to come across this 40 wood here.
Yeah,
right next to his base. Good pickup for him. That'll mean some early market upgrades. Both have clicked up to the second age. Aztec a little bit ahead of French.
And has Aztec used the fast age politician? That's something I'm pretty interested in because...
Yes, he has. It is aging well.
I don't think he has, actually. It doesn't look very especially fast. And oh, four villagers coming forward.
I wonder what he went for then. Usually, I mean, that's what you see from Aztec. You see the fast age up, but
yes, you do.
Not particularly fast.
You want that 700 wood on the floor as soon as possible. And he does.
Did pick up the 160 XP though.
Yeah, he's gonna have 2 shipments ready back to back by the time he clicks up. By the time he is up, I should say. That forward war hut.
The French player did lay down his market though. Yep, the forward war hut in the middle of the map, right here. So the Aztec player is gonna have 2 shipments ready in the colonial age, thanks to that amazing XP treasure. And that's gonna be pretty big.
I agree with you. Looking at the deck, it's a pretty standard Aztec deck. We have some rods, however, some mercenary renegade Spanish.
He aged with the 2 skull knights.
Oh, very interesting. I actually like this.
Wow.
Because he will be good. He will be aggressive. That's absolutely the case.
Well, those skull knights. I mean, look at that. They have 72 siege attack.
And generally, I think the French player would like to open with Hussar. And these Skull Knights, you can be highly aggressive with Aztec right off the bat with Skull Knight, Puma, and Coyote. And yeah, look at that. Oh, the stable's going down.
Yep, it looks like we could be seeing a semi-FF coming out of the French player.
But I don't know if
he of course went with the 400 wood. But
yeah, 400 wood. You know, this looks like a standard Hussar semi, but. You know, EAGLEMUT, perhaps he anticipated that. He has some Puma out. He has some Skull Knights. I would just love to see some Coyote come help with that. He's gonna pick up.
Yeah, he's got 3 Puma, 700 wood coming to his forward war hut. Does have the 4 villagers there picking that up. Hasn't laid down a market in his base yet.
Yeah, he doesn't. He's clearly not playing economically, so he's going to forego the market and try to get a few extra units out. Totally reasonable.
It's interesting what he'll ship next. Whether he, okay, here 3 Coyotes come out. I wonder if a military shipment is on the way. Maybe perhaps 6 Puma or even 10 Mace Holton. He's going for this treasure.
Yep,
Smart idea to take this 3 settler treasure.
Rather, 1 settler treasure, that would be insane.
Yep. And he's added a 2nd polar bear to his army.
Yeah. These guys are pretty beefy, 252 HP, you know? And 10 Mace Holton coming out.
Out come the 10 Mace. Along with looks like 5 Coyotes as well.
And this is very nice. He has a pretty good 3 unit composition set up here. He has the Mace Holton.
That is a beefy Aztec army. A barracks coming up in the back of the base, so 4 Hussar out for Queen of Destiny, but did ship the 700 wood.
Yeah, 700 wood. Is Queen of Destiny going for these musketeers?
Yeah.
But these Mace Holden, they're going to do very
Bringing in the Mace Holden. He's got his Mace Holden pretty forward. If those, he's got 6 Hussar out, so he's got to be careful. Yep,
Oh,
and come
here
the
comes
Hussar.
Yep, yeah, there they come.
He doesn't want to get his Mace Holden trapped. Oh, yep,
Eagle
gonna get them back.
I like that. Good. Taking that trade trade post. Very good.
Yep, and the Aztec player has definitely asserted map control. And oh my gosh.
Oh, this is a bad fight.
Look at the amount of Puma Spearmen heading towards the base of the French player.
That was a pretty good pick off for EAGLEMUT.
So he sent the 6 Puma Spearmen along with 5 more that he trained.
Some
and
crossbowmen
right
coming
now,
out, but
the military unit count is well in favor of the Aztec player.
Indeed. Yeah, the Aztec player absolutely has a pretty good military advantage at this point. Nothing that can easily deal with all these Aztec units.
Did call out his Minutemen and 4 more Hussar come out.
They've already gone down, and these Skull Knights, they're still here. They're still doing damage. One goes down. The other one, I think the other one is also dead. But these Hussar, they are not.
And 9 Mace Holdens coming in, barreling towards the French base. Oh wow!
Nice slag.
So the 8 crossbowmen were shipped by the French, but they were cleaned up, as well as the Hussar that he trained. Queen of Destiny is out. Wow.
Indeed.
A very nice push by the Aztec player.
Yeah. And that goes to 1-1.
All right.
That was just a nice push out from EAGLEMUT.
Yeah,
he had the build down quite well.
That was interesting to go with the 2 Skull Knights. I mean, it added a lot of siege potential to his army, and plus the 2 Polar Bears. I mean, they sucked up so much damage from both the Explorer and some of those crossbows.
Indeed,
but yeah, just a good fight by the Aztec player.
And one thing to keep in mind is that Hussar are a pretty good unit. However, they're not a beefy staple defensive unit that you can use when you're defending.
No. Because
those Puma just get right in there in personal, and they just trade too well with Hussar.
Yep, but I'm very excited. I was hoping this would go to game number 3. So EAGLEMUT versus Queen. Turns out, looks like we're gonna go to we're gonna go all the way.
I think so. Yeah. 1-1. Scores.
Oh wow! It looks like both players started with a market.
Yep. Market comes free on this map, so yeah, you can do all sorts of stuff. I think Ottoman player would like to, anytime you start the free market, I think getting your first hunting upgrade is totally worth it, even if you have to chop the extra 50 wood or so. Or even the Ottoman player spawning with a 100 coin and a coin treasure in base, they can use that to trade for wood, and then chop for the 50 coin. So there are a lot of options you can do with the free market. And of course it makes India's coin start, which they really normally don't like, it makes it a little bit better since they can get that hunting upgrade.
Yeah, I wonder, I don't think it will be seen, but we can't forget there is pretty substantial water on this map.
Yeah, of course, and that's always a line of play. There are 4 whales and pretty decent size of fish. I mean, this map has a lot of versatility to it, in which players can opt to play it. There are also the 4 trading posts, of which 3 of them, 1 player can have at a time. So it does also open up some stagecoach possibilities if the Ottoman player would like to do that. Although we do not see ATP in the Ottoman player's deck, so
yeah.
Probably
we do have 2 bulky treasures. So we have the India player collecting 100 food here, and we have the Ottoman player collecting 100 XP here.
Yeah, both pretty good cards. I think that 100 XP gave the Ottoman player... I don't know if it helped them with their 3 bills first. I don't think it did. But, I mean, still, I think XP treasures in general are kind of underrated. I think getting those shipments in can really snowball in a way that maybe you don't explicitly see. It's sort of an intangible effect, but I think it really does help out players.
Yeah, there are, this is the first time I've seen Florida, but there are some very good treasures on this map.
Yeah, a lot of, I think a lot of tier 2 treasures that are easy to get, and also some tier 3, like we see a villager treasure here. which, I mean, this is guarded by 4 melee guardians, so if you do have a European ranged explorer, you can do that sort of A's box trick where he makes a triangle around his explorer and just happily picks off these treasure guardians. It's a little risky, it's high risk, high reward, but maybe something that's not totally...
It's also noteworthy to keep track of that India has collected 4 sheep on this map so far, and they already have 2 more in kind of hiding in the back of their base, here and here. And especially for those Asian civs, those herdables are not herdables, but you know, sheep, cows, yaks, stuff like that. It offers a bigger bonus than just a food source.
Right. You know, India really does love their XP boost from those sheeps, and it looks like he has done a fairly nice job picking them up, and the Ottoman player not so much. I think I did see Queen delete 1 sheep she did get, so she currently has no sheep, and EAGLEMUT is 4, so winning in that regard.
The India player did get this treasure that was 2 war dogs, and now he's kind of chasing down the Ottoman explorer, which, if the Ottoman explorer wants to get an additional trade post in transition, he really needs to keep this explorer alive.
Right. Fortunately for Queen, I don't believe any of these units actually snare.
Yeah,
so
it is taking a lot of damage from the villagers and the town center, though.
Yeah, and the dogs are faster than the explorer. So actually, I don't think that Queen is going to be able to put down a transition TP. Although that's not the end of the world, since she did start with the trading post. However, what these 2 war dogs do sort of do is maybe pose a sort of threat for Queen if she wants to FB. Though we don't see actually any forward villagers yet, like we did in game 1. So,
oh wow,
this tells me she might be opting for a sort of semi-FF play.
This is kind of interesting. Ottoman is in the second age, and I don't believe India has even clicking down the wonder now.
Right. This is a pretty. I mean, that coin star kind of slows India down, so they do sort of age slower. However, it doesn't look like it's really going to be punished. We see Queen throwing down a Rex in base, so. Both of these players are playing this matchup a little more conservatively.
And I'm assuming this is a defensive aggro from what he saw last game, which, you know, isn't a bad idea. I think it's an aggro fort.
Right, and wow, EAGLEMUT is actually really, I think, nervous about the pressure. He's shipping the colonial militia card for the Asian civs. I believe it's called Enlisted Regulars. So.
Yep, and it looks like Queen is going to go for that second trading post.
Yeah, and I think Queen is just going to maybe do... She did make a barrack, so perhaps she's going to make some jams and harass the Indian player, but I don't really see any forward aggression. I think we're just going to see her age up.
Yeah, she shipped 700 wood. The 5 Jan's coming out now. But wow, I mean, India, do you think that colonial militia card was worth it if the Ottoman player decides not to play aggressively?
It's hard to tell for sure right now. Basically what CM means is that EAGLEMUT doesn't actually need to make any units, so we might see him try to do a sort of greedy semi-FF play. And indeed, you know, that CM is going to be beneficial for killing these 5 Jans, though in hindsight it looks like a bit of an overreaction. I think I think both of these players are sort of suffering from not scouting each other.
Oh, but here comes the 700 coin and the artillery foundry.
Okay, so yeah, it looks like Queen is going to just stick to Jan Abyss. In which case I think CM will work in EAGLEMUT's favor, though perhaps he could have sent it at a later date.
You know, I really thought since she shipped the 700 wood first and then she shipped the 700 gold, I really thought she was going to go for more of a fortress build there, but...
Yeah, I did as well. The rush distance is just so long on this map. It feels like the Ottoman player is just kind of late. And even the Indian player is not... I mean, both of these players in these civs just feel a little slow right now. But
yeah, and then 600 coin coming out from Ottoman as well, so I think there's going to be a lot of Abyss coming out of the Ottoman player. And I think the Indian player, if he doesn't want to repeat what happened last time, he needs to make some cav, or at least make a Carabanesi.
Right. I think Queen is going to go for sort of timing push here, and I think EAGLEMUT making Sepoys is a bit of a mistake, as Sepoys don't really counter anything that the Ottoman has on the floor right now. I mean, Gurkha are definitely beneficial for picking off the Janissaries, and they might even outrange. No, I think they have the same range as Abyss, but Gurkha Sower is definitely probably the preferred combo against Jan Abyss. But right now, I mean, the Ottoman player is not doing anything with their military advantage.
He does have about 4 or 5 Gurkha out on the map. But yeah, this timing push from Ottoman is going to be scary if he only has infantry.
Yeah, and it looks like Queen is currently scouting that right now. So I would actually not be surprised if she just drag boxes and right clicks on this Indian player town center. I think she would definitely win a fight here. Just now, a consulate is coming down for EAGLEMUT, and I think he's getting away with this sort of slower playstyle.
Yeah, it's still just going with just infantry though, which does worry me a little bit.
Yeah, and now with the 5 Janissary shipment, this is pretty much the same exact build order Queen did on game 1. And now look at this mass. It's not even 8:30 yet, and Queen has 25 Jans and 10 Abyss. This is just an insane mass. And I just don't see how EAGLEMUT is going to get out of it.
No. I mean, he does have the town center fire and the aggro fort, something he didn't have in game 1, but God, that's a lot of Abyss.
Yeah, and this
consulate, get this consulate down in time.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to put some more villagers on just to be sure. To be honest, anytime you're building a consulate, you should probably build it with like 3 villagers, just because it's such an important building, and and it takes so long to build. But I mean, we see quite an important engagement here. Again, the composition is just Gurkha Sepoy, and that's just not doing it.
If you think about it, Queen of Destiny is using a lot of her army to siege this aggro fort, and not necessarily fighting the Indian army.
Right, and actually a really nice Ottoman Minutemen pop here by EAGLEMUT on top of those Abyss guns. Minutemen do fairly well against Abyss guns, and actually now EAGLEMUT is pushing back this force, so I think Queen maybe just missed her timing by just a little bit, and EAGLEMUT was able to get enough units out.
Yeah, I mean, the Abyss guns have been, I think he lost 3 or 4 Abyss guns, which they are so expensive that you never want to lose that many in a fight.
Right, and I mean, right now, after the sort of crate shipment span the Ottoman does, their eco is sort of running dry, and this is actually when India starts to ramp up. So I think I think EAGLEMUT is sitting in a pretty nice position here.
Yeah, I mean, what do? You don't have you've sent both coin shipments, you've sent your wood, and instead of using them to really make a lot of infrastructure and go economic, you've used them to make this big mass that didn't do a lot of damage to India.
Right, and I mean, if we look at the recalculated economic population, India's up 38 villas to 22, and this is even showcased in the market upgrades. The Indian player has pretty much every single market upgrade he wants, including Imperial Bureaucracy, and Queen just has Honey Dogs. So, I mean, now we finally see a mosque come down from Queen, and she might do those villager upgrades, which their price has now been halved thanks to EP, but I just don't think it's going to be enough.
There's also the danger of she's got 1,200 more coin on here, and she's got about 1,400 on here. But once those runs out and she can't make those Abyss guns, she's gonna have to come out here and here and here, and her base is her villagers are gonna be very exposed.
Yeah, exactly. I think she elected to keep making units, and she does have the military population lead right now. If EAGLEMUT's not careful here, I think he could lose a fair amount of units, but he does pull back smartly with that increased line of sight from his explorers. I think we do see the 3 Hussar come in for Queen of Destiny, and this is maybe her second timing that she has to do something with. Those Hussar can snare and allow those Abyss guns to DPS away. But I'm almost...
Speaking of cavalry, I'd really like to see some out of EAGLEMUT.
I would too, yeah. It looks like he's still just electing for this infantry-based army, and I mean, Sepoy Gurkha is by no means bad, but it just doesn't. I mean, against this many Abyss guns, I mean, Queen now has 16 Abyss guns. That's 6 more than her initial push. So I think.
Yeah, and there's not as many Janissaries in this army as there was before. So, I mean, even if you had 5 SOAR, and then you shipped 4 SOAR, you'd be able to deal with this army pretty effectively with all the Gurkha he has mixed up in here.
Right. And I mean, 5 more Avis guns are in queue and just popped for Queen of Destiny. So EAGLEMUT does have the 3 Hussars from the Ottoman consulate, but it's just, and he can ship 4, but he's going to need a really solid engagement.
The good thing is that he did retrain this Aggro Fort, so it is fully repaired.
Yeah, that is very important. He can use these trees to his advantage. For these Hussars are probably going to get caught out of position, and they're not going to do much damage.
No.
I mean, we'll see what's on the way for EAGLEMUT. I would expect he has to send three Hussar from the consulate, and maybe 4 SOAR from Home City. We'll see what pops. Tiger Claws, ooh, that's going to be huge.
Oh no! Oh, that's gonna clean it up.
They got such a good pop on the Avis there too, and now Queen is forced to retreat, and those Tiger Claws are doing a nice job snaring.
And still a lot of Gurkha here left.
Yeah, and 3 Avis gun painfully, caught in melee against the Gurkha. So a nice cleanup from EAGLEMUT here against the very much larger Ottoman mass.
Yeah.
And okay, well, we try to do our best about the lag. It didn't seem too noticeable for me, but of course,
no.
That's something that I don't experience as a player. But
and I think that one was credited. That was excellent play by EAGLEMUT. I mean, I don't think we can take anything away from him. He held off a much larger army twice, which is always very impressive.
Yeah, I think EAGLEMUT did some pretty solid adjustments to Game 1, which was just a mirror matchup of this. And I think he definitely used, this is a good example of defender's advantage. He used some smartly timed pops and abused the fact that the aggro fort was here and had to be sieged, and was managed to hold off some pretty nice timings put together by Queen.
Yeah, and if we just, the aggro fort is at 3,670 HP now, and it was almost dead the first time. So if we think of just how much damage that aggro fort took while still standing, that's huge. Yeah,
and you should definitely take a gander over in the military unit population graph. It's actually pretty insane how EAGLEMUT held all of this. Ottomans can actually this is just an insane timing push with Jan Avis.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you just see the 2 spikes. You see one at about 9 minutes, and you see another at about 12:30.
Yeah, I wonder though, do Tiger Claws count as native units? Because I don't think I see them pop up on the graph.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I mean, the Tiger Claws were, I think it was a combination of things. One, it was whether it was due to lag or whatever other condition. Queen was using a lot of units to actually siege the aggro fort instead of fighting the Indian army both times. And I mean, you want to kill the aggro fort, but it doesn't do a whole lot of damage, and I think it's worth it to just leave that standing until you wipe out the other player's army.
Yeah, I agree. The aggro fort maybe gets a little too much focus from some players. It's just sort of like a glorified outpost. It's definitely more important to focus on the units around it instead.
But that is the first series. It does go to EAGLEMUT 2-1. I will say, for a first lieutenant, these were very well played games by Queen. Yeah,
I agree. It was nice to see her, especially Game 1 was pretty hype when she managed to take that off EAGLEMUT. A much better experience overall, series overall than I think a lot of people were maybe expecting. I think Queen is doing a great job of improving. And I'm looking forward to see how she continues to improve and might come back in future tournaments.
But